هاليفاكس صار وقت الجد، بدنا نتعرف على هاليفاكس، فاكيد الهاربر هوبر تنشوف من ميلة المي من بعد كوستكو. شو ما نتغدى اليوم؟ anyway amazing stuff. I'm very excited, super excited. بلش التليفونات كلها تجي، بلش كل الناس تسأل وينك، جاي لعنا مش جاي لعنا، ونورمان كل شوي بخبرني عن هون وهون. رح نحكي فيها بعدين، بس كلنا بنعرف الدونر كباب يلي هو تركيش جيرمان من 1970 تقريبا. هون عندهم شيء اسمه دونير DONAIR and they're very proud about it. وبيقولوا انه هيدا الكالتشر تبعهم وهيدا الاساس الواحد بياكله هون بهاليفاكس. sweet sauce. We've been talking about it for the last hour. عم نحكي فيه كتير و very excited اني ادوقه. بعرف انه فيه توم فيه بصل. It's gonna be a very harsh day on me but ما بقدر ما ادوقه اول ما اجي لهون. دونير الفرق بيناتهم، مين اخترعه، قديش مهم وقديش فخورين فيه وقد طيب. We'll get back to this later. For now, let's discover Halifax. الفكرة تبعهم بتشوفهم دايما من بعيد بس ما بتعرفوا قديش حجمه كبير قبل ما توقف حد الدولاب ويطلع على قياسك. بيمشي على الطريق and then بيغوص بالمي، بيفوش بالمي، في بقلبه تحته مروحة بتدفشه لقدام.
Just so you know, this vehicle does not run on diesel. No, it operates on enthusiasm. Let's try that again. Good morning. That's marginally better, but we'll take it. Well, welcome aboard the Harbor Hopper. My name's Jeff. I'm going to be your driver and captain. And with me is Lee, who will not only be your guide, but also your first mate. And when it comes to Lee, just so you know, he knows all the Halifax. Okay?
Why?
Still early in the season.
Back in 1749 when they arrived, and that of course is St. Paul's Anglican Church. Now, the oldest place of Anglican worship in all of North America. particularly sturdy, feel free to hang on to them. Also, I do, of course, encourage you to take any photos or videos as we're getting into the water there. But of course, be careful. It's a pretty easy math equation. Empty vehicle, small electronic device, water. I haven't lost a phone on tour yet.
يعني نورمان صاب على القد مزبوط. عرفنا على هاليفاكس هيك بنعرف من هلا ل7 ايام لقدام وين رايحين شو عاملين. اذا حدا قال لي شفت هاي بقول له ايه. بيوتيفول فيو، فكره رائعه، حبيت كثير هيدا الشيء اللي كان عم بيقول حقه $1,000,000 عملوا منهم من زمان كمان الحرب وبقيوا. ما فيه سسبنشن على الطريق، شوي صعب، بس بعدين دولابه كثير كبير، فيه هواء كفايه. وهلا دواليب وقفوا يهزوا، وفي عندكم الانجن او المروحه عم بتشدوا لقدام. شفنا هاليفاكس من هالميل طلعنا على البريدج قبل شوي على ثاني ميل محل ما فيه كوسكو هونيك ذا ايلاند اند هافينج ا بيوتيفول فيو. الناس عم بتقول يا ريت انه لو كان شمس اكثر او شوب اكثر، ولا البرد مبسوطين فيه قد الدنيا. الطقس حلو، الالوان حلوين. This is the kind of weather we love and spending a memorable time. Norman, thank you. GMC مع airbag. Yeah, I'm driving. Oh, good.
Go that way a little bit.
That way.
Now, fair warning, we're about to get out of the water here, so hang on, it's going to be a little bit bumpy. So I'm going to do my best now to kind of ease off the traffic here. So the next one is still about a traffic event, but one we're a little bit more familiar with. So, is anyone here familiar with the story of the Titanic? Two animals. Those are actually the national animals of our two mother countries. So of course we've got a lion, which is the national animal of England, and then a unicorn, which is the national animal of Scotland.
شو عملنا برمة حلوة كتير. حسيت السقعة عم بتفوت، ما هي عم بتفوت من هون، شفت كيف؟ ايه بيوتيفول تور. صار وقت الغداء، كويك ووك هون على الووتر فرونت وير هاوس، على الووتر فرونت seeing this amazing thing. هلا كثير قليل ما يجي هيك بوت على هاليفاكس، so everybody is impressed about it. وشوية ألوان وعم نفتش إذا فينا ندوق الدونير. I was not expecting زيتا يلي ببيروت، المغترب اللبناني الشهير يلي في منا بمكسيكو. واو. This monument is a universal symbol of a proud, strong and globally united Lebanese community. The statue honors the early Lebanese settlers who 130 years ago established a presence in this country, showing the bonds of loyalty, faith and perseverance. We are thankful to our Nova Scotia community and for the enduring friendship built in our home, Canada. واو، تحس تشعر بدنك انت. اطلع. يب ما فينا نكسر رجلنا. لا. باي باي. طالعينا 6 degrees. Feels like -4. Woohoo! الكسندر كيث بروري. برجع بذكركم الحلقه اللي قبلها شربت بيرتين وحبيتهم كتير كتير، وانا قلت اوكي ويت، هاليفاكس نوفا سكوشيا بيعملوا بيره غير شكل، فروتي ريتش بيتر هوبس، شاطرين الجماعه. ففي ذا تورستيك الكسندر كيث نوفا سكوشيا بروري تور and I'm very excited فرجيكم اياه وندوق البيره. هي كلها هاليفاكس من وقت ما وصلت قلت لهم ضيعه بالمدينه، ضيعه صغيره الكل بيعرف بعضه، بعتقد حفظناها برمناها كلها سوا، صرنا عاملين 3/4. صرت اعمل تقريبا شي 10 بروري تورز بحياتي. بدي اقول لكم نو كومباريزونز، بس اذا بتحبوا البيره وعبالكم تعملوا شيء عن جد امبرسيف، if you have the chance to do Guinness بدبلن، اهم تور عامله بحياتي. هاينيكن بامستردام was not as impressive as هاينيكن is. والبقيه مهضومين، خبروك خبريه التاريخ، بس بيرتهم طيب.
We're going to see the Halifax Citadel.
ما فيك ما تعمل لها زيارة. The Halifax Citadel ما فيك. في تلة خضراء بالنص، منها 360 فيو على كل هاليفاكس، فما فينا ما نعمل لها زيارة. وهي الموقع التاريخي الأساسي. ناطرينا بهالبردات، منيح وقفت تشتي تنعمل بارمي. هلا كنت عم بقول لهم إنه ما بتشبه جبال، أكيد الفينيقية لهم يد فيها.
So my name is Anthony Rahayel. I am the color sergeant here at the Halifax Citadel, and obviously we're here at the Halifax Citadel, National Historic Site. And here is one of the many forts that would have been kind of placed here in 1749 with the founding of Halifax to protect the naval bases that was constructed here back then. The first thing that we're going to do, we actually are going to start with the ready aim fire portion. So we're going to start with the rifle firing. And once we do that, we will continue on to the site tour of the kind of barracks room. We'll go to the guard room, and we'll stop at the school room as well. So this here is a Snyder Enfield rifle. So all the rifles that we have on site are historic or original rifles. So this one was built in 1859. It says right here on the side. So, you know, very old rifle and very cool that we can still, you know, use and fire them today. But these were the first breech loading rifles that were issued to the British military. So they did start out as Pattern 53 rifled Enfield muskets, which means they were loaded in from the top. You had to use a ramrod, you had to basically unscrew it and pack everything down. It took quite a long time to load and fire, not to mention that you had to have it, you know, standing up on the butt of the rifle every time you wanted to load it up. So it did take quite a long time, and you're in a very dangerous spot just standing here trying to load your musket. So they actually came up with the breech system. A man named Jacob Snyder, given the name Snyder Enfield, he came up with this breech block design. He won a patent competition that was basically created by the British military, and he created this little trap door in the back. So the way that this works now, instead of loading everything from the muzzle, all you have to do is pull back the hammer, open up the breech. Now you already have a pre-made brass cartridge, so everything just goes in all at once rather than separate pieces taking longer. Close it up, and then you're ready to fire. So it's much, much quicker and much more efficient. Not to mention that having a rifle like this allows you to load, you know, you can load at the kneel, you can load when you're laying on your stomach in the prone position, so it's much more versatile than a musket.
يلا let's save Halifax. Oh, you look sexy. Okay. Deep. You look so sexy. ساعات بيكونوا انتم جايين على هاليفاكس او اذا عندكم بلان تجوا على هاليفاكس، صار عندكم تور جايد اكتشف هاليفاكس اخر 3 ايام معي، صار له عايش هون 43 سنه. It's never too late, my friend. So new job, tourist guide.
Why not? Give it a shot.
And the sight, backhand right here, just where pull back again, you hear another click, you hear one click. Press the button to open up the breech. Pull back again, you bring it up to your shoulders. Okay, fire when you're ready. Fire when you're ready.
This is the schoolroom. So this is where soldiers and their kids would have come to school. So essentially, it works in two different ways. So you basically had the kids coming in the morning. They wouldn't have lived on site, but the families would have had separate married barracks. So they'd be living off site. They'd come up the hill every morning. The husbands or the soldiers would be on parade at the same time as everybody else. The wives could come up. We have an example of a soldier's wife right here. The wives could come up and they would be doing things like laundry. They would actually get paid to do laundry, a penny a shirt, which doesn't sound like a lot, but considering that the soldiers only got about 13 pennies a day, could add up if you're quick at washing shirts. So it was a very effective way for the wives to contribute to the income of the family. But the kids as well would be coming up with their mom and dad. The kids would be coming to this school here, so all grades, all ages, but you can imagine there wasn't too many kids back in the 1860s and 70s, and the only reason for that was because soldiers themselves had to ask for permission to get married. So if you had all the soldiers in the 78th, there was 769 men in the 78th Highlanders. If you had all those men coming in and getting married and having kids, it got really, really expensive for the regiment because they were paying for the food, the lodging, and clothing of the families, of the wives and the kids. So it got very expensive if they just let everybody get married, which is why they did limit it to about 7%. So because only 7% of the regiment was allowed to get married and was actually funded by the regiment, that means that you would have a school like this that would work quite well because you wouldn't have too many kids overcrowding the school, and they would be taught by a schoolmaster. Used as a way to tell stories for the children. But it was also used for a teaching aid, for they would have little scripts that would go along with this as well. But you would also have, historic photographs. It was either painted or photographs on glass slides. And this is an original as well. So this was from, before the 1860s, so very, very old. But this kind of mechanism was something they would use to teach the kids, as well as a little treat if they were doing well, or around Christmas time, they would definitely have kind of like a little movie kind of situation in here with the magic lantern. Is the guard room. So this is where the off-duty sentries, like Private Waller here, this is where they would have been spending 24 hours, essentially. So the way that a sentry shift worked was that you'd be standing on your post for 2 hours, and then you'd be on break in this room for 4 hours, and you'd be repeating that over and over again for the whole 24 hours. So from 10 a.m. until 10 a.m. the next day, that's when you'd be kind of stationed as your post for sentry. So, as you can imagine, not super comfortable, not an ideal kind of shift. It wasn't a preferred shift for a lot of people, but also a very important shift because you have the sentries who are standing out front, they're standing guard, they're kind of keeping an eye on the city as well as people coming into the fort itself. So today it is a lot more ceremonial. Obviously our sentries aren't, gonna stop people from coming in or anything like that. But historically, the sentries would have acted as security guards. So they'd be stopping people, asking them why they were coming here, asking them, what their purpose was coming into the Citadel. So very important to have a sentry stationed at all times, 24/7 out front. They would also have sentries stationed in front of the powder magazines or in front of the explosive magazines. We have 2 of them, one in the South Parade and one in the North Parade. And you'd have sentries posted 24/7 there as well. Again, because you don't want people going anywhere near the black powder or the explosives, because it can get very dangerous very quickly if the wrong kind of person goes towards there. So very important to have the security guards on site, like the sentries here. Where the basically the sentries slept, and now you get to see the quarters of kind of the everyday soldier. So it doesn't look like much, but it was actually a very efficient way of kind of keeping this room here. This whole building would have been barracks, just like this one here. So it wasn't just this one room. This whole building would have been rooms exactly like this one. So you can see the beds look very, very short as they are right now. That's because they are folded up. This is how it would have been during the day. So you'd have the beds that folded up, your tables are out because this is also where they'd be eating, they'd be sleeping here. They're spending some of their free time in here as well, but it's very important to have lots of space to walk around, to have the tables out. And then at night, when they needed to, the tabletops don't actually rest on anything, they just kind of sit right on top, so it's easy to take them apart. You put those off right to the side, and then the beds unfold like these two right here, and that makes it a lot easier to kind of get through and still have lots of space in the room. So very space kind of savvy when they were doing and kind of constructing buildings like this. And each one of those name tags there, if you're interested, were actually soldiers from the 78th that were here in Halifax. So each room would have had 10 privates of the lowest rank and 1 corporal. The corporal would have been in charge of just keeping an eye on everybody, making sure they were doing what they were supposed to do. Meanwhile, the privates, this is kind of their everyday kind of living situations here. They would just give them a very specific uniform. So you have your full dress uniform, which is a red doublet. It's very classic British uniform. It's 2 layers of dyed red wool. It's a nice thick jacket. And then you also have your buff jacket or your drill jacket. So that one there is just 1 layer of undyed wool. So it's okay if it gets dirty. You'd be wearing that to do your drill and everyday duties, and that's because very easy to repair, very easy to clean, compared to this, which was much more formal. So you'd be wearing your red doublet, for funerals, weddings, parades, even going into battle, you'd be wearing something like this.
لا فعلا حلو. بدي اعتذر. انا كنت شايفها تله خضراء، كنت عم سميها تله خضراء وقت ما وصلنا، عم بقول شو بكون عاملين منها قصه. انتل بتفوت لجوا وبتشوف القلعه اللي معموله جواتها، علو الحيطان، سماكه الحيطان، وفي مخبى ورا هالتله الخضراء شيء عظيم. اخذ تقريبا 2 ساعة برم، وبعد فينا نبرم اكثر بس برد كثير تقلكم مزبوط. ورجعوا عملوا ريبليكا لكل شيء صار من ايام زمان، مع متحف للجيش من ايام الحرب العالميه. سوبر ويل تريند ستاف، بقول لهم برافو برافو a million times and I recommended. بتجوا على هاليفاكس اكيد بتبرموا، بتعرفوا على كل الشباب واللبنانيه والنجاحات والاكل والمطاعم، بس هيدي وقفه اساسيه يلي هي من اساس هيدي المنطقه، من اساس وجود هيدي المنطقه، من اساس صمود هيدي المنطقه، من اساس هن شو مليون اميجرانت اجى لهون، رحنا شفناهم بالبير 21، وكمان هيدي القلعه اللي هي اول حمايه على كل كندا باتجاه اوروبا. نايس ستوب، انترستينج ستوب. يعني تنغير شوي من الاكل للاكل وبعد في اكثر اشياء، وهلا رجعنا نلتقي باللبنانيه بعد. في ايفنت عم يصير بالاتش اي سي، يعني هاليفاكس اكزيبيشن سنتر، يلي هو سوبر كارز اند تيونينج. فقلنا يلا بنجرب بنشوف شو عم بيصير بعالم السيارات، وكيف كيف سيارات عم تنفخ الكتريك نون الكتريك، السيارات المفرشخه، السيارات العاليه. والناس اللي هون يلي ما كتير بشبهها، ما لازم كنت اجي بالقميص. هالسيارة حلم 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 حلم. هالسيارة حلمة عن جد، بس لو كنت قادر شي نهار جيب وحدة كان على لبنان. ما لها قطع صعبة، يعملوا منها ديزل ومش فيول، يعني with all the complications، تقيل كتير ومصروفها كتير، بس one of the best cars ever created by man برأيي. heavy duty كتير كبيرة من جوا. H1 is a dream. heritage piece.
Make some noise! Make some noise! Make some noise for winners twice! And on second place, everybody make some noise for me!
مش عم نفهم له الطقس، مش عم نفهم له. هلا امبارح كانت feels like -4، اليوم feels like 4. ماشي الحال، الهواء ما كتير قوي، السقعة ما كتير قوية، بس في شتي بلا شتي، شتي بلا شتي يلي هو. بعتقد هذا الايفنت كمان سيارات رح نكفي. I think I blend here better. so رح نجي نشوف classic cars exhibition وهيك شوية سياحة around Halifax. تفضل. I definitely blend here better. So اليوم هون في كلاسيك كارز، اشياء حلوة، شايفينها بفلومة بنعرفها او لا. نايس. Let's have a whole tour. ما كنت عارف انه في ميوزيومز هالقد بهاليفاكس، فبين لقمة ولقمة لقمة ولقمة definitely اذا جيتوا 5 ايام بتلاقوا شيء تعملوه او تعبوا وقتكم. ما بعرف اذا الفيراريات هونيك والاشياء الجديده والجي تي اللي بحبها كثير، وما بعرف اذا لازم ارجع على قدام. انا مور اون ذا قدام، في اشياء كثير حلوه. الكاديلاكس بياخذوا العقل، الشافي 1955 عظيمين، ايام اللي كانت السيارات خشب. في اشياء كثير حلوه، وبتشوفوا كل السيارات الفلومه المعروفين، من الباربي للباك تو ذا فيوتشر للامبرجيني القديمه الون اوف اديشن فيري سبيشال لسيارته لفيراري اللي اشتريتوا اياها لجاستن. فيري نايس، اي ريكومند عن جد. اذا انتم بهاليفاكس وما جيتوا لهون، او اذا انتم زايرين من غير محل بكندا، بليز ستوب، يو انجوي ات. التاكسي الامريكاني القديم، يا ريت في اشياء بتقولوا يا ريت بترجع ايام زمان، كان في فن بالسياره، كل قصه وقصتها، كل حبه وحبتها. هلا صاروا لعبه يعني اللي بنسوقهم، تسلا لعبه يعني بتسوق لعبه. قبل كان فيها شغل، كان فيها هارد ورك، ستينلس، كروم. رجعوا ايام زمان. وبعتقد تجيبوا اولادكم، لانه جبت الولد اللي معي نصهم مش سامع فيهم السيارات. ف education